Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Nelta Igbe. Coming up on the show, Defense Headquarters releases report on Rann bombing. Anambra State Governor inspects road and erosion prevention projects. And the education sector in Rivers State is set for a turnaround. We'll start up with the story of the Defense Headquarters releasing a report on the bombing at an internally displaced persons camp in Rann in Borno State in January this year. According to the report, the accidental bombing was caused by the lack of appropriate mapping of the IDP camp. Defense spokesman Major General John Enenche told journalists in Abuja that an IDP camp was not supposed to have been located in that community because it was not part of the operational map. He also says the satellite images made the area appear like a terrorist training camp. He adds that the various boards of inquiry into the incidents have recommended that henceforth all locations should be marked appropriately. The panel also asked agencies participating in operations in the Northeast to share timely information such as location of IDP camps so as not to cause a confusion for other participants. Diarrhea-related deaths among under 5s have reduced by 60% across Nigeria. That's according to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. The agency is meeting with development partners to review an initiative that promotes the use of zinc for the treatment of diarrhea amongst children.
According to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, as of 2013, diarrhea accounts for approximately 100,000 deaths among children under 5 years of age. However, the federal government in 2014 started an initiative that encourages the use of zinc for the treatment of diarrhea among children.
We'll round up to this meeting with a lunch and then...
This meeting with donor agencies and state primary healthcare agencies provides an opportunity to review the successes and failures of the initiative.
The new leadership has 3 cardinal goals. Consolidation of our routine immunization, and most importantly, PSC revitalization. So he is very focused, very passionate, and very committed to ensuring that efficient and effective primary health services is extended to all Nigerians wherever they may be.
Approximately 40% of the total diarrhea burden in Nigeria rests on the shoulders of 8 states, including Bauchi, Kaduna, Kano, and Katsina. However, the intervention is making impact on these states.
In those 8 states where we implemented, we've had more than a 30% point increase in the number of mothers now that are given their children zinc ORS for treatment. So, and this has contributed to a remarkable decrease in the number of deaths from diarrhea.
The taking of zinc by children when they get diarrhea for 10 days give them some degree of immunity against diarrhea for the next 3 to 6 months. So to some extent, the frequency of diarrhea has reduced. Yes.
60% reduction in diarrhea-related death among children is no doubt a remarkable success. But these experts hope that this success will be sustained going forward.
The federal government has been asked to declare a state of emergency on erosion in Anambra State as the devastation is becoming worrisome. Governor Willie Obiano made the call while inspecting ongoing reclamation works in Obosi, Idemili North local government area, where the menace of erosion has left many residents homeless.
With about 900 erosion sites scattered around Anambra State, the state governor appears to be taking the bull by the horn to ensure that the reclamation program does not fail. That's what has drawn him to inspect the reclamation of portions of land not yet washed away at the erosion site at Oduma Layout in Obosi, Idemili North local government area of the state. This is what the persistent heavy rains in July has left in its wake First, a two-story building completely swallowed and the major road cut in two and leaving other houses at risk. The Obosi site is among the 12 new sites where the World Bank is intervening, but the state government says local intervention measures is necessary to salvage the situation.
We are the smallest because while Lagos is growing into the Atlantic Ocean, Anambra is shrinking from erosion. I've asked the federal government to declare state of emergency on erosion on Anambra so that they can vote money for us to do this work. The erosion money is not easy to come by because it's expensive. However, on our own, we've been able to work with United Nations to get 12 new more sites that work will be done. And this site is one of them. But because of the urgency, I have to intervene very urgently.
The traditional ruler of the Obosi Kingdom and the transition chairman for Idemili North local government area are pleased with the timely intervention.
We have you, and we know by the time you complete another 4 years, Anambra State will be another London. What you have done so far has shown that you have so much for the people of Anambra and people of Idemili North. We are particularly very happy and wish to say, continue your good work.
The inspection train also toured Onitsha to inspect the 1.2-kilometer Oseokodo Market Road, which is nearing completion.
Well, in the meantime, a new criteria for the disbursement of the Ecological Fund has been recommended by the National Economic Council to cut down discriminatory spendings and sanitize the management of the fund. The new guidelines are contained in the final report by an ad hoc committee of the Council on Ecological Fund, headed by the Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. The Abia State Governor, Mr. Okezie Ikpeazu, told State House correspondents after the closed-door meeting of the Council that the committee has come up with a robust governance structure.
In Council today also, Committee on Ecological Fund submitted its final report and recommends a robust governance structure, stringent disbursement criteria as the way forward. The chairman of that committee, Governor El-Rufai, recommended, among other things, that a robust governance structure and stringent disbursement criteria will be required to sanitize the management of the fund going forward. In their recommendations, they prescribed that physical visitation by the Ecological Office team and the on-the-spot assessment and verification of the ecological disaster was very, very important. They also recommended that technical evaluation of the disaster by experts in disaster management was also key. There was need, according to their recommendation, for community involvement in the entire process. Prior to the disaster, they recommended need for advocacy and evidence to prove that such disaster occurred.
Governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu. Now, the Ogun State government says it is targeting an additional 3 billion naira from the informal sector of the state economy, with the enlistment of about 1 million residents from the sector into the tax net. The chairman of the State Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Kunle Adeosun, made this disclosure during an interview with journalists while on a road show to market and motor parks. Mr. Adeosun said the state government will apply the full weight of the law against defaulters while appealing to the residents to show more understanding with government.
In Ogun State, population is estimated about 7 million and change. And out of those 7 million and change, people, taxable people, roughly, let's say 40% of that. So out of those 40% of 7 million, that's about 2.8 million. If we can get just 1 million additional people in the informal sector, then we are home dry.
When News Across returns, we'll be looking at what's going on in the education sector. Some state governments are beginning to use their counterpart funding. Details in a moment.